Guys, I really want to make money selling products, but I'm too scared to market them.
Don't worry, John. I got 7 different ways you can market your products without sounding salesy.
Y'all, we know just how scary it is to put yourself out there, where you probably have a bunch of questions swirling around in your head right now of like, how do I sell without feeling salesy? Or how do I actually make sure that my audience really looks forward to me launching this product? And the good news is that there are tons of different ways for you to actually market and sell your products in a way that feels really authentic to you, that also makes sure that your audience is really, really excited and is looking forward to you actually launching what you want to launch.
And not just your in-feed posts, also your stories, your captions, your comments, emails. There's really so many ways to be creative with it, and we're gonna walk you through all the different ways today.
And we actually figured the best way to teach y'all all these different methods is actually just to show you tangible, concrete examples from some of our most successful creators here at Stan, where we'll actually just walk you through their content and what they post so that you can use the same in your business.
So grab your notebook, because I can guarantee that you'll get at least one specific idea that you can start using today.
So the overarching preface in all of the different marketing methods we're about to show you today is that all of your different marketing posts need to add value to your audience's life in some sort of way. AKA, your marketing post shouldn't ever just be buy my course, but instead you should really ask yourself with every single marketing post, how that post actually adds value to your customer's life. So whether that's entertaining them or educating them or just helping them feel seen. And so with that being said, here is marketing method number 1.
The value wrapper, as we call it.
Nice. So what is the value wrapper?
So it's kind of how it sounds. You're giving a lot of value, but at the end, you're also wrapping it up with a call to action that is then selling your product.
And one of my favorite creators who does this really, really well, where I don't even realize any of her posts or her marketing posts, it just feels like great content, is actually Milkmaid Farm, who's also one of our favorite creators here at Stan, who's actually made a 6-figure income in just a couple months, teaching other people how to live a life homesteading and making incredible sourdough bread. And so I'll actually pull up one of her recent videos here, where if you actually start watching this video, no indication in this first frame even makes it seem like a video that's maybe a marketing post, but instead it just hooks our attention with foods you need to start making at home in 2024. And it's super captivating. Great music, all kinds of bread. Video pause to dance. But it's just super enjoyable, it's valuable, it's really visually engaging, and it's all these different foods that we should start cooking to be healthier. Mayonnaise. Have you made mayonnaise before?
I've not made mayonnaise.
And then at the very end here, you see that she says, want to learn how to fill your kitchen with these homemade staples? See the caption below. And then if you read through the caption here, she's so thoughtful about adding a ton of value and then having a really clear call to action that if you want to learn these recipes, you can check out her guide.
Yeah, so like the key here is to have so much value in your content that it doesn't even feel like a marketing post.
Yes. And it actually feels really good to make that kind of content, where I even think about some of our most successful fitness influencers. They're the ones who actually don't gatekeep any of their information, even if they're actually advertising their coaching program or their course, where they'll actually give out all the value freely in that content and say like, hey, if you want to lose weight, step number 1 is to create a nutrition plan. Step number 2 is to create a workout routine. And then step number 3 is to actually follow that workout routine and nutrition plan. And that is actually where I can help around that accountability. And so you're giving out all this education, but then being really, really clear on the value you have to actually help them achieve that outcome.
And not only does it feel good as a creator to know that you're always giving value, but also your audience has such an easier time trusting you because you're already like giving them value, so they know that you know what you're talking about, and it makes them even more inclined to want to buy from you.
Yes.
So the clear takeaway for the value wrapper is that you give a ton of value in your content and just end it with a call to action that tells your audience to buy your products.
And that actually is a good lead into the marketing idea number 2, which is the show, don't tell. And I actually really like this one the most because I get to tell a really fun, quick story about one of our most successful creators, which is Michael Elefante, who absolutely runs and dominates the Airbnb niche. And the story is basically Michael was asking me, what is my first digital product I could sell? And I was like, well, what do you use in your own life to actually invest in Airbnbs? And he was like, well, John, I have this like random spreadsheet that I use to actually evaluate whether or not a property is actually a good property to invest in. I was like, well, why don't we just list that? And basically, Michael goes from 0 to 100K in sales from just this one $50 spreadsheet digital product by doing this kind of video, where instead of saying, go buy my spreadsheet, he instead showcases the value of that product by starting off a bunch of videos with, let's go evaluate this Airbnb property. walks through that cash flow calculator, and then at the end of the video, he just says,
click my Stan store in my profile.
And another example of this, if you don't want to show your audience the entire product, you can also give them a little sneak peek, as I like to call it. So for example, I give away a free AI guide that has a ton of prompts to use. And so many times I will show one prompt that has that one prompt has a ton of value, and I'll show that one prompt and I'll show the outcome of it and how well it works. And then I'll also say, if you want even more prompts, then go get this guide. So it's a little sneak peek of it as well.
It's like a hook and a teaser, and it gets someone to actually get up the line of like, wait, I actually want all of these prompts to actually run my business as a creator.
Exactly.
Cool. So what's next?
That brings us to number 3, which is doing a POV and selling the outcome, which I'm sure you've seen many times before. It's pretty much when a creator says POV and they talk about their achievements, their success, and pretty much just the outcome of what the viewer would achieve if they bought their products.
And one of my favorite creators who's really good at this is actually Jenna Peterson, where if I actually pull up some of her content here, she's so good at grabbing these quick little clips that take her like not too long, and then she'll just film a POV of, hey, I'm at the pool with my kids right now because I've actually taken the leap of becoming a creator entrepreneur. This is an outcome you can have too if you take the leap. And so the subtle sell here is that you're actually showing your audience the outcome that they will have if they engage in your product or service. And this is what's gonna drive them to visit your Stan store.
And the good news is you also don't need to do all the hard work yourself, which takes us to number 4, which is the customer testimonial. Basically, the most successful creators know that the best way to actually sell their products is by showing the success of their customers. And I think someone who does this so well is Stylist Socials. So I'll pull up one of my favorite videos of her because she's literally just green screening one of her clients' videos. She doesn't even need to say a word and it sells her products for her.
You're always just one seemingly small decision away from changing your life, and for me, that decision was to book a call with Tyla. I've been struggling to find my voice and my niche on this platform, but I knew at the end of the day, I wanted to be a content creator. And in my 30-minute call with Tyla, she gave me so much freaking actionable advice that I had a really hard time believing that the call only lasted 30 minutes. When I booked my call with Tyla, I had 87 followers. 6 weeks later, today, I have 239,000 followers. So thank you so much, Tyla. Mwah, I love you.
That was incredible. She literally doesn't even talk in the video. She just has her client's success do the talking for her. She doesn't have to market it. She's just posting authentic content that feels really good to share her client success stories, and then also say like, hey, you should work with me. And that actually makes me think of Sharif as well, who teaches people how to get their first dream job, where he'll literally just green screen all of these different screenshots from his clients saying, holy crap, I got my first offer today thanks to working with you. Thank you so much. I couldn't recommend working with you enough.
And also, by the way, if your customers aren't reaching out to you directly and giving you like their testimonial, you can definitely feel free to reach out to them and just ask them yourself, ask them for a review, ask them what they think about your product, and you can use that as your customer testimonial. And next we have number 5, which is the story series, which in my opinion is probably one of the most important ones.
I would strongly agree with that. I think your stories on Instagram are one of the most underutilized pieces of real estate you have to constantly and consistently market to your audience without annoying or irritating them whatsoever.
It's a way to be yourself and really showcase more of your personality while also being able to make sales.
And stories, because they disappear after a day, they just feel so much more lighthearted, where you can really build this emotional connection with your audience in a trust-based way while also converting really well. And I think Abigail Pugh is one of the best examples. She's the expert on selling your stories. So let me actually go through one of the series that she actually just sent me that we could go through and piece together. So she starts out with just a super casual post here, just showcasing her success and establishing herself really casually as an expert. And then she does a really good job of leveraging text during her stories as well to say, hey, like, this is a success I've had, but now actually all of my students, all of my customers are having the same success. And hey, what do you know? Leveraging customer testimonials to actually post screenshots of like, hey, no $0 days for me as well. Like, you guys should join, AKA really clear call to action of like, if you want to partake in this success as well, just join here.
And one thing about this that I think is really important to note, even though it's really small, is that all of these are all text. One thing that I think a lot of people don't know is that 80% of users on Instagram actually are on Instagram with no sound. So using text on your stories as well, or if you are gonna talk to the camera while you're on your stories, make sure to include the closed captions.
Yes, very key. And actually, speaking of Abigail's success, brings up the next way that you can market your posts.
Yes, number 6, which is the self-proof or just showcasing your own success.
And the reason why it's actually important for you to showcase your own success, your own progress, is that there's no better marketing case study of what you might be able to do for someone than what you've literally done for yourself.
Yes, because if your audience can see that you've been successful with what you're teaching because you've been through it yourself, it just really builds confidence and builds trust with them. And I think a great example is actually Health Coles. She is a fitness creator and she posts her own before and after, so you can clearly see that what she's teaching works, and she has a clear call to action. Train with me. So you know that she not only has done this herself, but she's also teaching others.
It's like almost like the best case study you have is actually yourself. And Nicole, having been through this journey herself, really builds a lot of relatability with her audience. Like, holy crap, she's done it and I can do it too. And another good example that I actually love is actually Kristen, the Organomama, who talks a lot about her journey actually struggling through chronic illness. She shares like super vulnerably her autoimmune condition, and then talks really specifically about the toxins that were in her life that actually created those conditions, and then how she actually removed some of those chemicals, isolated out what was the problem. And through that, because she shared her journey and then shown her success on the other side, now being healthy and toxin free, her audience is much more likely to trust her advice in terms of actually how do you pursue a holistically healthy life. All right, we are at the final way to market.
Number 7.
Which is the to the point. And what we mean by the to the point is exactly how it sounds, which is just a post or a piece of content that gets straight to the point of the value of your product. Where one of our most successful creators is actually Liz of Date Yourself Instead, where she has this incredible program where she's helped so many people get through heartbreak and find a ton of self-love through her masterclass, Date Yourself Instead. And she's found an incredible amount of success with some really straightforward to the point posts about how specifically her masterclass can actually help you get over that really crummy ex.
Yes, another example of being to the point is actually directly telling your audience who the person is that's directly going to be positively impacted by what they're selling. And I actually came across this on my Explore feed today, so I want to show you this too. So it's super straightforward, looking for 20 girls who, and then pretty much have the attributes of who's going to benefit from this product. And then looking at her caption, there's a clear call to action that tells her audience to join her inner circle.
All right, so we just threw a lot at you, but here's the thing. Absorbing all this information is not the same as taking action. And so to make a difference and to actually make this video worth your time, your homework here today is to take one of these video ideas we threw by you and use it to promote your product.
And when you do post this video using one of these tools, actually copy the link and paste it in the comments. And we want to take a look, we'll give you some feedback, and we're here to support you.
All right, see you guys next time.